First,
there is something that I'm always thinking of every time we're gonna get together, and the reason is because I spent some time living with Marcos in his place, and all I heard about it was his friends. Well, he talked about many things, but one special subject in every conversation were his friends, and he always mentioned his buddy Q, Patty, of course, in every conversation, and Michael, always. And I have to say that in the best way as possible. I've never heard nothing negative about you guys, but there's something that I would like to know about your living in New York City as a friend, as a person, individually. What have you done with your life that you can say that you are proud of? Where do you see yourself from now on? Let's say 2 more years, 3 more years, tomorrow maybe. Because in the conversation that we have, most of the time, we don't talk. Marcos never told me about what would you like to be, Patty, as a woman, as a professional. Never told me what would you like to be as a man, as a professional. But he just talked about friendship and the past. There was no future at all. I mean, for him, there was a future. But never get into your life. What would you like to do? Because this is your privacy.
right.
This is what you would like to be. And I'm curious because I'm somebody from another country. As a matter of fact, you will find out that I have a lot of accent. And my pronunciation may not be the best one, but I'll try to do this the best that I can, okay? If there's something that you cannot understand, ask me again.
We'll ask you.
Okay, please. But at this moment, I am gonna make the questions. Okay?
All right, moderator. I'm moderator.
Okay, great. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Good.
You
We're
are.
doing good. Relaxing Sunday, hanging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can let our guard down. Don't have
Yeah.
our city guard up when we're out there facing everything.
Which is why we started doing this monthly brunch thing, because it was just relying on, happenstance to get us together wasn't working. I would go months without seeing this guy.
Oh yeah.
And if you ask me any day, like, who's the most important people in your life, it's the people I never see.
Right. And I think that's part of the problem with living in this big concrete jungle is that you get so caught up in trying to make a life here that you really never, the most used word here is I'm busy.
Yeah, and it's true.
And it's true. So everybody's busy and you never really make time to do what you really say that you really want to do.
Yeah.
Or the people that are important or the things that are really important to you.
That is tremendous importance. But I would like to know now your answer leads me to another question. What is it that you would like to be? Just curious. Because you said that you never get what you want to be because you never see the person that you want to be or whatever.
Are you saying professionally, or are you
As a
asking,
whole.
are you saying like in terms of growing as a person?
How do you see yourself as a person, as a professional, let's say in a couple of years, according to the life that you're having right now? Is this life that you're having right now leading you to the place where you would like to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for me. It's still very much a work in progress. I mean, I've only been here 2 years, so and I first had to get. For me, it was just getting through the first year.
Oh, it takes 2 years
It
to
was just getting through it, getting adjust.
Hold on a second. You said something about 2 years. What was that?
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to say 2 years is a drop in the bucket. It takes 2 years to figure out, where the grocery store is. Where to do your laundry.
That's almost like the concrete rule when you move to New York City.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people, and that's what I was told. And it pans out to be true, is that it generally takes 2 years for you to get your job, get your place, and find your way around, and find the routine that'll help you sustain your life here in New York City.
And I didn't know that because I thought that I was going to move here and instantaneously love it, instantaneously blend into the woodwork, and instantaneously have this great network of new people and exciting things, and prosperity and all that. And the streets were paved with gold. I thought that was going to happen day one, and the fact that it didn't happen, I thought I hated New York. I thought I was failing. I thought that the world was against me.
And New York you felt like New York was against you.
Yeah, and you know what? because I had that foundation, I haven't. It's taken me a long time to shake that. I still have this. New York is against me. New York is mean. New York's a bad place. Because it took me 2.5 years before the love-hate balance shifted toward love. You know,
that's interesting.
But the first 2.5 years, things to love. It was like a lot of intense emotions. Things to love, body and soul. You know, all this. You know, there's something to do 24 hours a day. Things to hate, mean bosses, bad relationships, bad living conditions,
getting on the train,
getting on the 6 train in the morning, having a landlord, you know, that isn't all up in your business. I mean, I live in like small buildings, so.
How about you, Marcos?
I mean, I have to agree with Patty because it's a double-edged sword. I mean, people move here because of the opportunities, but you also get caught up in the opportunities. And this city has a tendency to chew people up and spit them out because you have so many options, because you get caught up in so many different things, and it strays you so far away from where you're trying to go, or you have difficulties going to a place that you don't know how to pull yourself back. You get caught up.
It's so true. Listen, the only reason I'm still here and I didn't run back to Illinois with my tail between my legs is because I had nowhere to go. You know, I'm an orphan, so I had to make it here. If I had anywhere else to go, if I had any person that wanted me, any home that would have had me, I would have gotten the hell out of here.
Right.
But because I had nowhere to go, and I had my pride, I'm like, no, I'm not going to leave here until I settle the score.
Right.
You know, no, you're not going to chew me up. If any chewing's going to be done, I'm chewing you. So no, I'm fighting. So I had to fight. I had to make my stand. Like, no, I'm going to figure this New York thing out, and I'm going to make it because I got nowhere else to go. So this is it.
Yeah, but your comments make me think about Q, because I don't really know for how long he's been in New York comparing with you. Probably for how long have you been living here? Yeah. Which is the one that has the longest time
I've been here probably half my life almost, but I'm definitely a New Yorker. However, you know, it was a little bit different because I think our stories are almost the same, but just in different time spans, because we all knew someone who was here that was a good friend before we got here that helped you sustain your balance.
He's the only person I knew in the whole city, and I love telling the stories about how my options were to stay, because I didn't have a job. I had saved up a bunch of money in Chicago so that I could come here and acclimate and see the city before I had to start working. So my only option in life at that time was to stay in the house all day and know nobody, or follow Marcos around every move, like his shadow. Really? So all I did was I went to work with him, I went to the store with him, I went to eat with him. I mean, I was with Marcos 24 hours a day, like my first, probably 2 or 3 months here. I mean, I was at his job so much they offered me a job because I was there every day, and I'm so nice, I got along with everybody. You know, they're like, well, you're here, you want to work? So sometimes I would like, well, I'll just help out. So a couple of times I hung up some coats. I did some side work, you know.
The reason why I have to refer to Q is because you were saying that it takes 2 years to, you know.
And I've just hit 2 years.
Yeah, so you said 2 years.
You're brand new.
Do you feel that something of all the things that they have spoken about, do they fit you? I mean.
Yeah, thus far, yes, definitely. Like, the challenges, you know, and you're like, and then you're always like, okay, what the hell did I get myself into? Kind of moments. Why is it so hard? Because, you know, I would visit here all the time. I visit here all the time over the years. So going back to piggyback on what she said, like I would, you know, you think it's gonna be easy because I was here a lot. I was here for work.
Like I know the place.
Blah blah blah. You know, some way my way around. You know, stay with my best friend when I would stay, and you know, and all that. So it won't be that hard. I'm not like fresh, you know, but it was still harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even with all
that I already knew,
and even like you had a job you could just slide into. You had a friend circle to slide into.
Even everything was an adjustment.
And even with that, it's still an adjustment.
Yeah. You know the jungle, concrete jungle that you mentioned. Is there something good that has happened to you guys? Like, which is the best thing that you can say so far that you are proud of?
That's a great question.
I think just in general, for me, being an artist, I think the whole reason why I moved here was it's a city of possibility. It's a city of anonymity being anonymous, but it's also the city of opportunity and possibility. So in my mind, I still know that there's a possibility of more things happening than when I lived in Chicago. As a filmmaker,
because that's where you were originally from, Chicago.
Right. So as a filmmaker and as an artist, my goal, to be on TV or to do films, the possibility is greater. So that I still feel like I'm still on the road to doing.
What about you, buddy?
I agree with everything. That's all true for me too. But I had another I had a lot more personal growth here than professional growth.
Right.
I had professional growth in a whole different, I went into law, in which I'd never really done before.
Okay.
But personally, I don't know if it gives you qualities or they're dormant in you and it brings them out. But all I know is I'm way more independent. I've got this hustler survivor mentality now that I didn't have in Illinois because I didn't have to. When your whole family's there and you're the baby and they got nothing to do but throw money at you and love and support, whether you were a natural hustler or not, you'll never know because you never have to hustle.
Right.
Whereas here, I had this make it or break it. I had to reach deep inside and find that inner hustler, and I love it because I didn't get rid of my old self. It's just like another room that I built onto the house.
Right.
The other addition.
Yeah, it's just and so now, when I look back at my friends who, spoiled and everything's handed to them and they're like, oh, life is so hard. My parents only bought me a Mercedes and not the Porsche that I wanted. Wah, wah. I'm like, you know what? I can do both now. I can accept that Mercedes, and I can also go out and make my own if I need to, and I do, and that's all thanks to New York.
To fight for what you want.
Yeah, it just made me a fighter, and I'm glad. I mean, I didn't have to choose that. I could have chosen to let it crush me. I'm glad that I chose to not.
And in the little bit of years you have here, have you said that you already have something that you feel proud of? The best thing that has happened.
The fact that I've lasted and gotten over the obstacles that have been thrown, many obstacles in that first year that have been thrown my way that I never saw coming. Like, I was like, this can't be real. This can't, you know what I mean? Like, whereas anyone else, I felt like a lot of people would have turned around and just ran back to the comfort of what they knew and who they were, which is much easier, more elevated. And like here, I basically, many different levels, I'm kind of starting over, which is not easy to do once you reach a certain age. Like when you're 20s or your 20s, basically, you're like, oh, everything's new and fresh. But I've been there, done that. I've established myself, so now I'm establishing myself and building my brand and myself again.
Yeah, right. All right, guys, you got things to talk about. So let me ask you something else that I would like to know for myself, because I come from another country, and to me it's kind of interesting the way that you talk about getting used to New York as if you were from another country too. But guess what? You're American. You were born and raised in America, in the U.S. And exactly the way you feel, I can tell for myself and so many other immigrants. This is the way that they feel too. Like, what is it you're gonna do with me now that I'm here? Should I give up? Should I go back? What should I do? Should I go back to my hometown, to my family's house? Where? What should I do? But then we have to take the wheels and say, let's go. This is the road that I want you to go. And this is the road that I want you to go no matter what. Okay, so I have to say, do you feel proud of New York City, of living here?
Proud of ourselves or
proud of living here? Do you? Patty says that she will have another place where to go. She will, if she had a place, right, where to go.
I felt that way initially during those first, like during the adjustment period, and even maybe up until a few years ago. But now, am I proud of living in New York? I am, in the sense that, however I personally feel about the things that have happened, because of New York City. I do know that it's a place that, I personally know people from other countries who can't get visas to come here and who would give their grandmother, to live here. So, no, really, I know people from like countries that they're not even like, oh, you're from that country? Yeah, nice try. Yeah, see it. So I know that I've got something, I know I've got a golden egg in my hand. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know that I live in a nice neighborhood, in a nice place in New York, and I know that that's worth something.
Right. But the question should be, are you proud of your life in New York City?
Yeah. Yeah, because I did this on my own. You know what I mean? I didn't have any help independently, and I did. You know, it's not like I lived in a cardboard box independently. I mean, I live in a nice neighborhood independently, so I'm proud of that, and that I accomplished that. I have a great job in a great field, and a lot of people. Okay, I'm an artist. I'm an actor.
Are you?
Yes, I'm an artist. I'm an actor. I'm a voiceover artist, a singer, a lot of stuff, and I developed a whole other side of me. I work in law now. That most people can either most lawyers can't be actors and most actors can't be lawyers. But I can.
Okay.
So I'm proud of that. That I found a whole new way to survive, not just on what I knew before. I developed like a third arm. So.
How about you, Marcos?
Yeah, I'm definitely proud. I'm definitely thankful. I've achieved a lot. But I'm just one of those people who's a forward thinker, and it's not so much where I live. Yeah, I want to be comfortable, but right now I'm in a mindset where I'm forwardly thinking about creating things and being an artist and moving forward with my career. Do I feel like I've gotten a fair opportunity? Yeah, it's probably there. Have I taken the necessary steps? 110%? Maybe not. So maybe I need to readjust a few things. So maybe I'm at a crossroads. So, you start to reshuffle and reorganize some things in your life to push yourself forward. But under the whole dynasty of things that I've done and I've created, and absolutely.
Definitely should.
Absolutely.
Oh,
you should. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right.
This guy's an inspiration, though.
Yeah, I know that.
he's he's part of the reason I've been able to survive. I mean, just knowing that there's someone that believes in me. Someone that I never gave up on me. And times I gave up on myself, but you never gave up on me.
That's good.
I mean, who has that?
Yeah, and it's just someone is there.
I mean, like someone you could give your PIN number to. Whatever situation you find yourself in life, I think you need to, no matter, you got billions in the bank, you need to cultivate a friend that you can trust. Someone that you can say, listen, I messed up. I screwed up. This is what happened. And someone will be like, well, all right, what's the road forward? And someone that's not going to judge. I could tell you I did anything. You'll be like, all right, well, how do we move forward from this? You know what I mean? I could call you from jail. So that might actually happen. So I'm saying this just plant that seed in case you get that late night call. Be like, remember how I said I could call you from jail? Well, here I am. So yeah, I mean, so I'm kind of proud that I mean, when we lived in Chicago together, everything was hunky-dory. I lived in the best neighborhood. I was working as an actor, driving a fabulous car. Remember all that?
Yeah.
Life, I didn't have a problem in the world.
Right.
Wasn't I the happiest, most person you ever met?
Right.
Yeah.
And now, when life has happened, I've got someone I can trust. That's a huge accomplishment. I mean, it says something about me too, because he wouldn't be in my life if I was a jerk.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
I agree. I
so
feel the
it's
same way
both
about
ways.
you guys. All
Yeah.
you guys. Yeah. So
Yeah. So
your answer?
Am I proud of
Your
what you've
life
accomplished
in
in your
your...
years.
that was far, but it's still, there's a lot more that's going to happen.
Right.
That needs to happen.
Right. So far you feel good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I really feel really good with the fact that I have, a small circle of people that I trust and I love and care about, which is not easy to do here because it's hard, moving here because people are so much on their own grind and what they need to accomplish on their own, and that's very valid.
Right.
But finding people you can reach out to and be real with and let your guard down with and be a little softer with and not have to, your shoulders up and all that. You can just be cool with.
And someone that's your friend just for you. There's nothing I need from you. There's no hookup I want from you. I just want you, just as my friend. Just because you're you. I don't want nothing. I don't ever need to hook up to anything. And just hook me up with a cup of coffee.
Right.
And once a month on a Sunday.
Yes.
It's all I need from you. You know.
Right.
I mean, most people well, what can you do for me? You've already done it for me just by being you.
Right.
You know?
It takes time to build a relationship between friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
I have to say though, I think a big part of the reason we have this is because we all came here from Chicago. I made some friends I thought I was close to in New York, and I've got some friends.
Right.
People
You know
that
what I mean?
I've
I've got
people that you know.
friends and people that I know and people that I can call and go to places with and people that I can even talk to a bit, you know. But like as far as like the deep level stuff, that's all pre-New York for me.
Good.
Yeah.
It's all pre-New
Yeah.
York.
That's true. I would have to say the same thing. My core group of people still, to this day,
The same,
are the same
that they were in the 1990s.
Same 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
That means that you don't change friends so quick, so easy.
I mean, I
But
try
you-
to. I try
you try
to.
to.
You try to, but
you know what you have.
I know.
You know what you have. You're not looking over your shoulder because you realize what's real, what's important. And you know, if you have something amazing, like why are you gonna throw that out
Right.
for something new and flashier?
Right.
Yeah.
You still should be open, of course, but at the same time, you still need to prize what you have and what's been important and what's been tried and true.
And every year that goes by, I feel even deeper.
Right.
You know, because we've been friends for that many more years.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And not that I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm probably out of everybody I know, I'm the one that goes out and goes to meetups and goes and tries to make new buddies and new female friends and new, but you know, and I do, but it's not the same. And maybe 20 years from now, maybe one of them will stick. I mean, trust me, if you would tell me the day we met, yeah, I knew you were cool. Did I know that you're going to become like my soulmate?
Right,
You know,
exactly.
same.
No, you're right.
I'm amazed about the way
Yeah,
that
like, I was like, oh, what's about Marco? Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was going to be all like this.
Right? Because again, to jump on when like he was a friend of a friend, a really good friend of mine. And my first was like, oh, look at this little pretty boy actor model. You know, and I was like, oh, he's smart. Oh, you know,
cool.
yeah. Oh, he's smart. Oh, he's da da da. He's this. He's that.
Like
all
little
these
by
things,
little,
all these
though.
things that you know that I value in people that are part of my circle.
Yeah.
But you know, but it was a time frame like, okay, you see people, you know.
Yeah.
You know, who look like him or whatever. Like,
Yeah, okay.
it wasn't the same, you know.
Right.
Here's the kicker, is that, and I'm not saying because of me, but think about how, as me and you guys are all a part of me, now we're all a part of each other,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and how we're all good friends now.
Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're all similar in that way,
Yeah.
and we all have that trust and that bond.
And we're all part of each other's
Part
story
of each other's
now.
story now.
Yeah.
Like when you tell the story of what it was like for you in New York, I'm in that story.
Yeah.
You can't even Google you.
Yep.
Have you ever tried to Google this person? You see
Yeah,
more
yeah.
pictures of me than you will.
You're right. You're
Where's
right.
Patty?
Yeah, that's nice, but where's Marcos? I'm all up in the video. I'm like Puffy in the 90s, like, that's
true.
right, that's right.
That's so true.
I'm all up in his video. And that's never going to go away. That's the internet. That's
Literally
never,
and figuratively.
if you never spoke to me again tomorrow, God forbid, Google you,
Patty's
I'm all up in the
always gonna be
mix.
there.
So you might as well talk to me because you know.
I can ask for your conversation that clearly you will not change anything about your friendship, about how close you are to each other. But now, is there anything of your personal life that you will change to make it better in New York?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, if you don't have to say, it's okay. If
No,
it is a
no,
personal
no.
situation.
No.
But if there is something that you feel that can help somebody by you saying this, I please ask you to say it, because so many people may feel that they haven't, that they don't have to change anything in their life to make it better. Probably they do. They don't know.
well, yeah.
Go ahead.
And let me tell you, the reason why I'm asking is because I feel that you have a lot of things to share to everybody, to the whole world maybe.
Yeah. I mean, this all
Because-
applies to any city.
Let me tell you, this is the city of the world.
Mm.
So many people want to come here from so many countries.
Yeah.
And when they come here, they face the reality.
Yeah.
Okay? So when they face the reality, they want to go back, or they start doing something that they never thought they were going to do in their life.
Yeah.
And sometimes they feel they need someone to push them
Yeah.
somehow. Maybe you are the pusher right now.
I'm your pusher.
That's why I'm asking you if there's something that you will change right now that will make your life better in New York City.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess on a personal level, I mean, everything that I do pretty much is more career related, and how I spend my personal time away from my job. You know, I have a job and I have a career, so I'm living a dual life almost.
Dun,
You know,
dun,
to
dun.
sustain my you know self, which is now getting to a point where back again where my career can, is starting to sustain my life. But, if I can just ease off of the job that I have, then I'll have more free time to spend with people, with my friends, and do this more often, and concentrate more on my career, which I feel like will also help. My career, my vision is to help the world. It's not just, I want to make films that have meaning, that have some kind of substance to it, and have something that'll help people.
Right.
So that for me is that's my goal. That's
nothing to change right now.
He's perfect.
No, I'm not perfect. I want to release a lot more of my job and work more on my career and personal.
All right. How are you playing? Because I see that you have been.
I'm chomping at the bit here, right?
Going through a lot.
No, because these are the kind of things I think about in the shower, on the train. I've got like idle time, like, oh, what am I doing with my life? Something that's, how I said, like, I didn't run back home. Part of what I developed in myself was, as important it is that I value my old friends and that I try to develop new friends. One thing I've done is I got in real good with my life partner being myself.
Right.
I became more reliant on Patty.
Right. And
I hang out more with her. And me and her have a good time just chilling on just the two of us, and it's I would advise that to anybody who's gonna go into a new unknown land. You got to get right with that person in the mirror and be like, yo, nobody's available to hang out today. Nobody wants to go to the parade. Nobody wants to go to the opera. Great. We're gonna go together.
I'm going with me, myself,
I'm going with
and
me,
I.
and I'm on. We've got the same shoe size, and we like the same foods. Great. We don't need anybody else. Like, as it won't have such a rough. I wouldn't have had such a rough adjustment in New York if we had been like, screw the world. It's all about us. You know what I mean? And just getting what we want instead of trying to please people and be affected by what people thought of us, because they're gonna talk about you regardless. They're gonna think great or they're gonna think ill. And it's none of your business.
Right.
It's none of your business what they think. I guess my answer is to just being more of my own best friend.
Right.
Is the personal change and improvement that I'm continuing to make, and that I advise anyone out there in the sound of my voice, be your own best friend first and foremost, and then have these guys.
And it's it sounds like a cliche, but it's really not.
Cliches are probably the best advice ever if you really take them seriously
and really,
and really cut away the corniness and get to the root of it. Cliches are the best advice because it's simple, broken down into bite-sized sound bites. Be your own best friend, and then in tears from there down. And you won't have these issues. It won't matter what he said or what she said or what they said.
Right.
When you know yourself.
Yeah.
But that's a learning process. That's a human process. It takes you a while. It takes everybody a while to get comfortable.
What about those people that never learn?
Yeah.
Well, because they've all got people around them.
They have the support.
Yeah, I've got friends who come from big families. They never had to go out them.
They have the support.
Yeah, I've got friends who come from big families. They never had to go out and make friends because they got like 5 and 6 brothers and sisters the same age practically.
Well, let me tell you.
They come from small towns, and
Yeah, you had your same friends from kindergarten. You know your friend making in kindergarten. My brother did all this friend making in kindergarten.
No, but let me stop you right there. I got 8 brothers. Okay, from my mother's side, and I got 4 more from my father, 5 from my father's side, and I have to learn myself. So sometimes it's not about how many people you have around you.
Yeah.
It's about your personality. It's about what you want. It's about how much do you want to know yourself and fight with yourself against everybody else.
Yeah.
It's about to know how strong you are inside and outside. And sometimes when the strength from the outside are not enough, you have to dig inside and say, okay, so let me get the strength that I have inside and fight with those one, because the one outside doesn't help me at all.
And so that means that you two are strong people, because not many people can succumb to the pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
It is.
To get to know yourself and to be by yourself and to be forced in a situation where you are by yourself and still persevere.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I said.
Loving yourself.
That's one thing that I always say, and people doesn't trust me most of the time when I say it, because I say I talk to myself in the mirror most of the time.
Oh yeah.
Because I believe in that. I used to say to myself, God, okay, this is not you. open up your eyes and take this way.
Yeah.
In the mirror.
Well, the thing is, sometimes people tend to give more of their nurturing to everyone else except themselves. And so if you think of yourself as in the third person, right? Like if you think of like, hey, I'm a girl from a certain age, certain height, certain weight, that what can I do to hook this girl up?
Right.
Like if it was another person who looked just like me, what would I do to hook her up in her life? What advice would I give her? What would I tell her to do? Well, that's what you got to do for you.
Right.
You know, it's like styling yourself, like being your own personal stylist or your own personal life coach.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, it was just keeping intact in my head, like the person that I am and what I bring to the table, because this will test you, like, in respects to, like, it'll test you, like, that you're not enough, or, like, present that you're not enough, but you have to remember what you came in with and what you're leaving with.
Yeah.
And that's a strong, like, to jump on what you said, a strong sense of self, some strong sense of what you're about, and a strong sense of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish.
So can we say overall that New York City at a certain point has helped us to find ourselves a little bit more because of all the things that we have to be through?
It is. It's kind of like a.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's like a big boot camp,
Okay.
like a big training camp.
We're still here.
I'm still
We're still here.
I always thought I made a mistake.
Right.
I mean, I realize now there are no mistakes. It all happens the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But for years, I thought I made a huge mistake by moving here instead of moving to LA.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like,
Because of your career.
my career, my personal life, just things I like, just driving and Mexican food. I mean, everything. Like I like sunshine, palm trees, Mexican food, and driving. That's LA.
Right, yeah.
That's LA all the way.
Yeah.
Mexicans and driving? Come on.
Yeah.
I should. Was there Chicago too? Actually.
Yeah.
I could just go back home. But and I'm like, why did I come to this subway stair climbing Dominican, city?
Thank you. That means that you live in the Heights.
Well,
Maybe because that's a Dominican neighborhood.
no, it's a Dominican neighborhood, but I'm just saying there's no like readily accessible tacos on every corner.
know.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know.
if that's what you want, you got to go looking deep into the
I know,
under the
yeah.
cupboards for it. So I'm just like, what did I do this for? And now I know why. It's my training ground.
Right.
Because when I do move to LA, what? I am pumped. I just
It's
want
going
to
to be easy.
Yeah.
because now I know how to adjust to a place. What you do is you have your money on. Okay, cash flow is one of the biggest things that will drive you nuts and make you miserable if you don't have that right. Get your cash flow popping. Okay, that's number one. Number two, live somewhere decent, and that doesn't even mean the cheapest place you can find. It's got to be that special blend of affordable. Nice.
And don't expect to find within the first year.
No,
That's
no.
for sure.
Expectation. Adjust your expectation. Don't expect to like. You could go to heaven. You could die and go to heaven and not like it for the first 2 years. Okay? Don't expect to like somewhere for 2 years. Have your money popping. Be your own best friend. It wouldn't hurt to be as hot as you could. Life is going to be hard.
No,
I'm keeping it extremely
true.
real
No,
right now.
that's
Okay? Life is hard when you are hot. If you're not hot. Ooh, yeah. You just kind of gave yourself extra work to do. You know what I mean? So whatever your physical, and I'm not even talking about, obviously don't be an asshole, okay?
Yeah.
Be a good person. But physically, be
best.
your personal physical best.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Be hot. I don't care where you move to Tajikistan.
This has
You
been a
need
great conversation.
So
Hot.
it's physical best, mental best, financial best.
Well, and see, that's the thing about okay. One thing I used to blame New York is New York is mean. New York is expensive. It's just that New York requires your A game. And if you're not on your A game, then it's mean and expensive.
Right.
See? If you are on your A game, you can afford it. And you're hot, so people like you. And you know what I mean? It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. If you're hot, got your money popping, you can pretty much slide into a lot of, and don't have high expectations, and you're on your best friend, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay.
And you stay on top of things and you hustle. You gotta hustle.
Hustle. Always be thinking of ways to add that extra stream of income. Money is going to cure 99.9% of your problems. And these days, even your health problems. They used to be like, well, it won't fix your health. Sure it will. Sure it will. Trust me, I've seen some doctors work miracles on me.
Yeah.
I just say, money for good doctors, and money for organic food so you don't get sick in the first place.
Right, yeah.
Money for
It's
gym
not cheap.
memberships.
It's
Money for
not-
gym
it's not-
memberships and
yeah,
organic
it's not
food.
cheap.
Kale is cheap. Eat kale.
So first thing, get yourself to the gym if you can. Your gym membership on.
The farmer's market.
Hustle yourself.
Get yourself to the farmer's market.
That's right.
In the gym.
Get your financial on.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't have to have a PhD in microbiotics. You just don't blow your money on dumb things.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you don't have to go to the college to learn something.
Yeah, do something with your brain.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, there's not a spot for everybody in college. Some of us got to make their money by building things or by, you could make great money in construction.
Sure.
A lot more money. People sitting in offices make less money than guys welding things, So it's about figuring out what your interests are and how to monetize that. And sometimes it's not what you make, it's what you save.
Right.
Live within your... If I had it to do all over again, listen, you got to come to my house. Imelda Marcos would be like, damn, I got shoes that have shoes, okay? And I'm not going to sell them. They're nice shoes. But I wish I didn't have them, to be honest. I wish I didn't have so many clothes and shoes. I'm going to keep them. I'm going to wear them. Yeah. I know as a stylist that's hard to say. No, but I'm not a stylist. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's not my trade.
That's a tough one, too, because you also got to look your best.
Okay,
but
here's the thing.
If you're smart, you can look your best in 10 crucial pieces.
Right.
And switch up the accessories to, match the times.
Yeah, that's something I try to teach
quality.
clients.
I got 500 pieces from H&M. I wish I had
20.
two Chanel suits and some, Donna Karan separates.
But it's,
what I mean?
Ideally, you want to find a blend of like your core, but then you want to find your fun things that kind of make you happy and make you smile.
Here's the thing. It's why I bought the clothes. That is why I wish I didn't have them.
What they represent?
They represent trying to fill an empty void. I was trying to throw clothes inside the hole in my soul.
Could that be because
I was filling it with clothes and cupcakes and men and not that none of those were extremely fun. But I wish I didn't need to do it. I wish that I had known that I was enough with my...
You don't feel like...
So there is something that you could change.
I did change it.
Oh yeah.
I haven't bought a pair of shoes all week. No, but yeah, that's something that I had to learn though. But I mean, like you asked me when I first moved here.
Yeah.
And that frustration that I felt about not being my own best friend and wanting to feel cool. And I wasn't getting compliments in the mirror. I wasn't saying, you're cool, you're awesome. So I needed to put on a nice outfit so that somebody would say, you look nice, or you look pretty, So that's why I wish I hadn't bought the clothes.
Whereas for me, I feel like for me, it's just an expression of who I am, who I'm feeling,
what
I want to put across that.
And that's exactly what I told myself. But that wasn't the full story for me. Yeah, it's an expression. It's also an expression of the lack of self-esteem. Keeping it real. So I would advise people, you won't need to spend all that money, which you're going to need to put toward your career, if you feel good knowing that you're enough as you are and you're your own best friend. You don't need to have...
I'd say do it within reason.
Within reason.
Everything is within reason. I mean, I'm not saying don't buy clothes.
Yeah.
But it's like eating.
Yeah, shut me down.
Don't starve.
I'll move in with you guys.
Yeah.
Do that.
Don't starve, but don't eat because don't eat your feelings.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think too, situation depending. There's certain function that you have to have certain clothes. You have to have certain things to go along with it. Or if you're in the fashion business, you have to.
Absolutely.
There's a certain, or the corporate world, you have to have certain things. Yeah. Yes, you can reduce the amount of things you have, and
but not emotional. I did emotional shopping. That's what I'm saying.
That is different.
That's totally different.
Totally different. Well, guys, I believe that we have a lot of things to talk about.
Yes.
And I do believe that you have such an interesting life that I would like to keep on talking to you about some special subject. For example, your career, which I believe that is going to be great.
We'll do that on the next.
And on the next episode.
Next episode.
Your career is one, for example.
We'll do that.
What about your family?